Hey everyone, welcome back to another one of our High Flyer Digital webinars. Today we're going to be talking all about SMS for e-commerce. That's this webinar, all about the bootcamp for e-commerce, how to leverage SMS for your business and make sure that it is one of the top revenue drivers for your brand overall. So really thank you for being here and excited to get this webinar going. Hope there's not a lag over here. I'm not sure if that's my screen or anything else, but either way, we'll continue on. On this webinar, we're going to dive into how to make SMS a channel that's a more conversational than your typical channel, right? A lot of brands tend to think about SMS as just another medium to sell a lot and get a lot of sales from your customers, and it is. But at the same time, it's a channel that's meant to be a little bit more intimate to your customers, a little bit more direct, and a little bit more informational for the sake of that relationship you have with your list. So excited to jump into it. Let's get started. Let me start making sure we're connected here. And then I think we're set to go live. Okay, I think we are good. Perfect. Okay. Measure that. Okay, let me blow up my screen a little bit. Let's get underway. So by the end of this webinar, here's what I want you to take away. I'd like for you to understand exactly that SMS is one of the highest performing channels for your brand, and you can leverage email and SMS to go together. And it's not just either or. And I'll tell you exactly what that means in a second, right? We'll dive into the next level, not email and SMS, or even email or SMS. It's going to be another level. And understand the power of conversational commerce. I want you to understand that you can actually reduce your Klaviyo costs, your ESP costs, any platform you're using by sending less and sending fewer messages, but actual better ones using our strategy, and enhance customer personalization with every SMS that is being sent. And the cherry on top, double your revenues while cutting your costs and your time in half. So that's what this webinar is going to share with you. This playbook is for retailers who are looking to keep and monetize their list, right? You spent years building up your email list. You spent, some cases, months building up your SMS list. Yeah, it's kind of new for some brands, and you really need to keep it. At the end of the day, these aren't just email addresses or phone numbers. These are actual customers. You want to keep it as long as you possibly can and maximize its potential. It's for 9 to 10 figure retailers who need real strategy, not just tactics. Right? We're not talking about tactical things only, strategy, and then bring it from high level strategy down to eye level. It's for founders and CEOs who want to add another revenue stream to their business. It's for 7 to 8 figure DTC brands who want to leverage SMS and email and understand how the top brands are thinking, right? It's for those brands who just look at it and say, you know what? I was told SMS was one way, and in reality it's a whole different way because it's how the top brands are doing it. There is a better way. And finally, it's for CMOs who want to stop blasts and focus on conversations. You ever blast your list, right? And you think about it, you're like, oh yeah, we're not using SMS enough. It's out of sight, out of mind, right? Maybe using two platforms, one for email, one for SMS. Terrible, by the way. And you forgot about us. Oh yeah, we should just blast the list, whatever, right? No, you want to focus on conversations. That's the right way to do it. So that's who this playbook is for. And I really want to make sure that you understand it's all about conversational commerce. If you stay to the very end, we have all this content here I share on my webinar every single time. Always sign up. We had on this webinar probably about 115 signups across all platforms. So we always get a solid attendance on these, and it's really helpful to see that they're getting all this content as well as just the live webinars. So I will give you all this content for free if you stay to the very end. A little bit of background. I have my 330-page email and SMS playbook. See it right here, hard copy, 330 pages, really thick, really deep, really insightful. We're actually updating it this year, half the year. It's got some old COVID topics, and that's really important, but also, we're past COVID now. And I want to share a little bit more about my own adoption story that plays a role in how I steer this strategy. So that's my book. You can learn the strategy of the top brands in this book, and then you can also implement that strategy with my Mach 10 email masterclass, which we actually re-platformed into a different location. We'll be pushing live again real soon. 2 ways to learn it and implement it. And I also recommend you get my 2025 customer retention playbook. This has been really popular. It teaches you how to reduce your customer churn, remove the chance of bankruptcy this year. I know this year is harder because there's tariffs. and there's challenges. And honestly, at the end of the day, keeping customers is of paramount importance, right? Yeah, we could talk all about profit margins and things like that. That's not my scope, right? Yeah, I could talk about it, and I know about it. I was VP of retention. But one thing I do know is you can't do anything if you don't have customers, right? You can't do anything. So you got to make sure you never lose your customers again. And that's our customer retention playbook. You can get it at getlifetimebuyers.com. Very easy domain. And there's a lot more coming up in June, ironically, for Black Friday. We're planning ahead for Black Friday. And it's actually perfect timing too, because if you're facing tariffs and challenges like that, ordering product now in preparation for a solid Black Friday is probably a good, prudent choice. So getlifetimebuyers.com, get the playbook right there. And new for 2025 is our new SMS for Ecom playbook, right? We're talking about the webinar here, but there is some extra value we're adding to our SMS marketing playbook as well. So that's coming out by the end of the month. It's already written. We're just editing right now. And you should be able to see that really clearly. It's not just one of these other lead magnets you find using AI or ChatGPT. This has some really tangible stuff, all from the mind of the VP of retention and from our team and success. Speaking of which, a little bit about me. Why am I running this webinar? I'm an ex-VP of retention, speaker, author, panelist, and founder. I was a VP of retention for multiple 10-figure brands, managed 20 million member customer files, wrote the book on it, worked with 110 plus e-commerce brands, probably a little higher by now. And I've been on your side of the table. As I always like to say, I know the challenges you're going through. I've faced them myself, and I have run those programs and overcome those challenges, not overnight, but through trial and error, through wisdom and learning and A/B testing and refining. I've been able to overcome one of the challenges we've had in this webinar specifically, which is how do we leverage SMS? We have all these customers signing up. What do we do next, right? Because the blasting of our text messages was just not a fit anymore. Too expensive, too wasteful. So I've been on your side of the table. I know what you're going through. I know exactly what you're going through. Speaking of which, here's the example. My team of 5 sent 50 million texts that were salesy and cold, right? You ever get that feeling that you have a list now to work with, right? You have your email list, okay, and you've had that for years, built up, over time, but you have your SMS list now, relatively new, maybe a couple years old, 5 years old maybe, and it's new, nice new shiny object, and you just treat it the same way as you did before, blasting out your emails, blasting out your text messages, blasting out a sale and a promotion and a sale and a promotion and a promotion and a sale, right? That's just terrible, right? It's just another way to sell. That's how anyone thought about it. That's how I thought about it, right? It's another new novelty. Great, I can make more money that way. Well, yeah, you could make more money. And I used to think it was email versus SMS, right? And I learned it was email and SMS, right? It's not one or the other. And then I eventually learned a deeper way of thinking too, which I'm going to share with you. And ironically, the more sales texts we were sending, we actually got more complaints. And it was worse complaints because a text message you can respond to. You ever check your email inbox where someone responds back to your email blast, right? I don't know if you ever have one. I used to check them because it went directly to customer service. And I used to say a ton of responses with every email we sent out, like 10, 15 responses bashing us and saying like, where's my order? And just all this conversation. But SMS is worse because they could just text back and you're already, have a dialogue going and the customer expects that. So, the epiphany is that you need to focus on 3 critical strategic SMS pillars that we really distilled and refined over the years. You got to think of SMS as literally a conversation with a person, the human, with the person behind the phone. And it comes down to 3 pillars: reward, reinforce, and relationships. 3 R's: reward, reinforce, and relationships. Those are the 3 pillars. And with that, I've been able to grow one brand at least 4 million incremental revenue in 1 year. Another brand went to thousands in months, right? Another one grew by millions in 12 months. And another one, an additional $500,000 just from SMS. So it is extremely helpful to have that channel overall. So the incremental revenue is really, really important. Now, let me recap a little bit more about my 10-figure strategy so you can understand, just as a backup, understand exactly how we run our channels, how we run our marketing, and why it's important to reshape how you think about email and SMS in general, right? Most brands approach email and SMS as focusing on tactics, not on strategy. batch and blast, brute force attack, some segmentation, maybe some personalization, barely any, very campaign reliant, and really obsessed with the copy and creatives. They're just obsessed with it. And that's all good and well, but really you should be obsessing with one thing, which is the customer, right? And you've been told to send more emails, send more text, and we'll retain your customers. Ironically, those experts have a vested interest in you doing that. That's not the way, right? Because what happens is you send more emails and texts, you make more money, and you'll be more profitable, maybe, but who cares if you burn your list? I did that. I spent 1 year back in, I think it was 2017 or so, blasting our list, made a ton of money. Second year, nothing. Flamed the list, burned on. I burned that list. Flame on, burn the list. There you go. Totally burned it, because that's not the way to do it. You have to approach it in a totally different way. Sending more increases churn and unsubscribes. 3 emails a day from Nordstrom, 5 emails a day from another brand I audited. 2 emails a day, that's so wasteful, right? And now imagine you layer SMS on top of it. Look how much waste it is. You're just talking at customers. Of course they're going to bail on you. Your unsubscribe rate could be really low if you just chill, right? That doesn't lead to customer retention. It leads to angry customers who never want to hear from you again. Stop sending more emails and texts. That's not the secret. The secret is start building better customer relationships. That's the methodology you need to internalize. It's not about the email. It's not about the text. It's about the relationship. There's a person behind the inbox. Really important to remember that. Build better customer relationships. And if you don't believe me, you could check out Klaviyo. They started my 10-figure way. I wrote my book years ago, right? They started coming up saying, guess what? You know what? Isaac's got it right. We are about building better customer relationships. That's what it comes down to. I knew this because I was working at the 10-figure brands. They knew that 10 years ago, right? I'm bringing it now to the small brand who never knew this. And it's so important to remember that mindset. Build better customer relationships. That's what it comes down to. And what's the mindset of it, right? When you have the mindset of building better customer relationships, what does it come down to? And it comes down to connecting with people on a one-to-one level, right? And the way you do that is through the channel of choice, their intimate channel of choice, which is an email or a phone number, right? That's their most intimate channel. So when you think about it, when you work backwards, like Simon Sinek's, everything starts with why. Why are we doing email and SMS? We're doing it to build better customer relationships. How do we do that? By connecting with the person behind the inbox, behind the phone on a one-to-one level. Where? Through their most intimate channels of choice, email and SMS. And you may know already my 10-figure email strategy, again, from my book, from my webinars, you're on my list. But now we're diving into the 10-figure SMS strategy. 2 channels rising at a 10-figure level is how you will win 2025 and beat any tariffs, beat any challenges, beat any competitors before it's too late. My 4-step strategy comes down to segmentation, personalization, automation, multiplication. I can tell you, majority of brands, 95% of brands, 95% of agencies and experts out there nail the segmentation, right? It's table stakes by now. Everyone knows segmentation. You build out some segments and you send to your engaged list. Okay. What they don't get is personalization. That is the tip of the spear. How are we connecting with the person behind the inbox and with our creatives, with our copy, with our character count, with our messaging, with our follow-up? Then automation. How do we automate it to scale 24/7, 365, not just be stuck in manual campaigns day after day? And then how do we multiply those automations for different procs, different cohorts, different channels, different locations, right? All that multiplication. So it comes down to 4 key steps: segmentation, finding the right person; personalization, sending them the right message; automation at the right time in their buying cycle; and multiplication, repeating it and scaling it. Right person, right message, right time, repeat. Right person, right message, right time, repeat. That's how you scale up an email, SMS, and retention strategy, all built out by a VP of retention. Trust me, this is how it works. This is how the top brands are thinking. I want you to think that way. And the reason number 1, your SMS marketing sucks and doesn't convert is the same as why your email program sucks and doesn't convert. Lack of personalization. Lack of personalization. Number 1, customers gave you their data when they sign up. They give you their data. They give you information when they make a purchase. They give you information. They give you your data. And 83% of customers are willing to share their information if it means a more personalized experience. Problem is, you do not leverage that that data. You do not use it at all, right? Only 15% of brands actually leverage it. No one knows what goes on their data. No one even looks. That is bad. You can't. When I came in as a VP of retention, when I was director of email, right? Email and SMS, the first thing I did, I downloaded my entire customer data file. I said, I want to know every single field that I have on my customer, every single one. And why I want to know what's populated monthly, what's populated annually, what's populated daily, right? And learn, understand what's personalizable, if that's a word. What can I use to personalize to my customer? Because I want to be the marketer who actually uses the data they're entrusting me with. You got to be that guy, right? 50% of marketers actually use the data, but 83% of customers have given it to you. There's the mismatch. There's the disconnect, okay? And if you don't personalize, it causes them to switch to their competitors. They will not engage with you. They only engage with personalized messaging. This is 2025. This isn't 1995 where you don't have enough information about your customers. They're everywhere. They're digital first. They're social first. This is a different generation. So generic communications lose customers. And if you're doing it from email, that's one thing. Now, if you're doing it from SMS, you have a bigger problem. It's much more intimate. And it costs you profit, reputation, and competitiveness. Customers trust you with their data. You're not using it responsibly, bouncing. What happens when you implement these 10-figure strategies? You regain a list that's engaged, loyal, and valuable forever. They open and click and convert more often. They're spending more, returning less, more profitable and predictable, hedging against macroeconomic challenges that happen all the time, right? Beginning of the year, a lot of economic challenges. Hedge against it. And they're sharing with friends and family and rarely leaving again. Who wants to leave from a friend? You treat them like a friend, we're in a good place, right? This strategy will teach you how to do that. So why must you rethink your SMS strategy, right? Why must you rethink how you're already approaching it? Well, number one, many brands think it's email versus SMS, right? They think, you know what? I have an email. I have a campaign. I want to send it out. Let me send the email. Well, what about SMS? One or the other. The good brands, even better brands, know that it's email and SMS, right? They combine the two. They reinforce each other, which is another part of the strategy. But the biggest brands understand that it's not about that. It's about the customer squared, as I started calling it, right? The customer will tell you, they're telling you what is their channel of preference. It's not about what channel you want to send on. It's they're telling you what channel they want to get your messages on. And they're signing up, right? So they want to hear from you, but you're not listening about how they want to be communicated. Maybe some want to be communicated by email. Some want to be communicated by phone. Look at that old school phone there. And some want to be communicated by mail, right? And that's just 3 examples. Some on social, right? Some by phone, calling them up. There's so many different ways of communicating with a customer. You just have to start thinking to yourself, it's not about the way you want to communicate. It's the way the customer wants you to hear, right? The way the customer wants to hear from you. Okay, that's what it comes down to. So don't think about email and SMS, not email versus SMS, but customer squared. I'll come up with an even better term, a little more alliterative, but that's exactly what it comes down to. Listening to what the customer, what channel they want to be communicated on. The top brands have a CDP that tells them, oh, this customer will best respond or best convert or best engage with social or Facebook or Instagram, TikTok, or mail or every other medium you can imagine out there. But it goes beyond just thinking about what the customer wants. It also goes down to like the mode of how you're communicating. And it's about conversational commerce. SMS means great human-to-human communication. 84% of customers crave personalization, as I showed you before, right? 83% are giving you their data. They crave personalization. And the cool thing about email and SMS, specifically SMS, it's more first-party data that's quicker, right? 90%, I'll go to that in a second, but 90% open rate on an SMS means they hear you and they're actually giving you your answers quicker. You're getting more data from your customers faster. When's the last time you checked an email response to your email blast? Rarely, right? 2 channels when they subscribe for those retailers out there, and I worked at retailers and I understand retailers like the back of my thumb, back of my hand. They grow LTV much higher when a customer signs up to 2 channels, right? Email and SMS, SMS and social. email, SMS, and social, in-store, online, right? More channels means higher lifetime value, more investment from every customer. And when you add an email and SMS in the strategy I'm about to share with you, 73% higher conversion than just one channel. The money's in the follow-up. The money is in the consistency, right? In the reinforcement, right? And 52% of brands actually, 52% of customers only actually sign up for one or two brands. So if you're not investing in it now, you're going to lose first mover advantage. And there's one more benefit that no one really talks about. You can email and you can text, but ironically, you can also call people. It is a phone. Mind-blowing, right? You actually call people. Who does that anymore, right? Trust me, there are customer service agencies that I personally work with. Talent Pop is one of them. Great tool. They call people that are on the cutting edge. They call people that are almost at the finish line. I worked with some retailers who sell $1,000 AOV products, $1,000 plus AOV products, $10,000 AOV plus products. Person abandons their cart with a $5,000 camera or a $10,000 bike or a $15,000 pair of headphones. Yeah, we're going to call you. We're going to call you, right? It's not just about email or a text message. We have your phone number. We'll give you a call, see what we can work out. Retailers sometimes break map that way, right? So phone is another channel, and that's a benefit. So technically, you have three channels here. Customer squared, not just email, not just SMS, but phone too. Customer squared. Find out that, hey, I like getting phone calls, or this person will pick up the phone. Great, amazing. We can do business that way. I want to go into a really quick case study of the power of this and how that works. And I'll go deeper into this later on. But really, you take your basic cart abandon email flow that you probably have, like anyone has, a basic cart abandon email flow. Probably could use some tweaking, use some enhancement, but right, you have your email flow, and now you enhance it by millions with SMS. Year one, this brand had 670,000 emails delivered for cart abandon. They made 4.5 million in cart abandon revenue. Pretty basic, good open rate, good click rate, 40% open, 9% clicked. But we can optimize that more, right? And we optimized the cart abandon flow with SMS. That led to an additional 75,000 SMS text messages sent for cart abandon. That led to an extra from 4.5 million to 7.3 million in extra cart abandon revenue. That's an additional $2 million gain just by adding SMS. What changed? Well, number one, we optimized the email program, right? So that gained another incremental 1.4 million. SMS added another 1.1 million. And that third part, which is the phone, the fact that we can call people and we zeroed in on the high AOV customers with a lot in their cart that maybe we're still shopping around, a phone call add an extra incremental $300,000, right? So that's how you think about it, right? It's not just your basic cart abandon flow. You can optimize it and grow by millions more with SMS. You get a lot more data, a lot more opportunities to follow up, a lot more channels to reach out on. And we have additional ideas after that, right? Add another touch of SMS, add another phone call, connect with customer service and do even deeper things, right? So a lot of ways to think about it, not just about how do I text more people in my campaign? You got to think beyond that, right? Customer squared, that's what it's about. So why aren't you doing this now? What's holding you back? Great question, right? You should be doing this now. Well, here's why brands fail to excel in an SMS strategy, right? Number one, as I explained to you, you think it's email or SMS, one or the other. It's not. You've been told to use different platforms. This is a big one. You've been told to use Klaviyo for this and another SMS provider for that. I don't believe in that. I believe you centralize it all in one platform. You maximize the technology to do both channels. Once you outgrow a technology, then you migrate. You don't use 10% of one technology and 10% of another technology. Combine it into one, maximize it, and then once you outgrow it, you move on. You've been using SMS to simply repeat your email plan, right? You're just saying, oh, we'll have a Memorial Day sale coming up. Let's do a Memorial Day SMS. That's it. You don't know how to fully manage responses also, right? Maybe you've kind of had this analysis paralysis where you're like, you know what? I probably will get text messages back and, responding. So how do I manage that? Just get it done. We have a vendor that does that. Talent Pop is great for that. You don't think about conversations, right? The conversation comes back and how do I respond? Well, your customer service will be able to do that for you if you train them, right? But you don't know if you don't try. And imagine the conversation that could lead to sales right there. You do the same thing with social, right? You're paying attention to your Instagram, you're paying attention to your Facebook messaging, same with SMS. But the number one reason brands fail to excel in SMS strategy that scales, your agency isn't setting you up for success, right? They're just email designers. They don't know anything but email, right? They just push something out for you, right? Like push it out for you. Oh yeah, you need an SMS send out? Yeah, sure, I'll push it out for you. Yeah, no problem. We'll push out an SMS for you. You ever get that term? We'll push it out. Yeah, well, we can add SMS. We'll push it out. They execute. They're executioners. That's a good word. They don't build relationships, which is what you need. They're your list. You need to build a relationship with them. They don't comprehend multi-channel power. They understand that there's a journey here, right? Email goes now, SMS goes later, SMS goes first, email goes later, whatever it may be, what the journey looks like, right? Email goes this time, SMS follows up, or vice versa, back and forth. They don't think after the click either, right? They don't necessarily think about it. They think about the gorgeous email they made, and they say, you know what? We're good. There's a journey after that click. And most importantly, they think at a six-figure level, not 10 figures, right? So that six-figure mindset will keep you at six figures. If you think at a 10-figure level, you can settle for 8 figures, which is pretty good for most of you, right? Or settle for 9 figures. Excellent. So think at a deeper level and settle for a lot less. But if you only think at a six-figure level, you're not going to get anywhere. So that's why on this webinar, I'm going to share with you some of the goals we're focusing on so you do not make that mistake. You don't make those mistakes that you have, right? The goals for this webinar: increase your click rate, increase conversion rate, enhance personalization, position your brand as a partner in your customer success, create conversations that solve pain points, react to them, communicate transactionally and promotionally. That's the cool leverage of your SMS channel, and grow a new channel to join your email and retention strategy. That's our goals, so you can win at SMS forever and not make the same mistakes you've been making up until now. Really important to remember that. So let's get started. What is our SMS for e-commerce strategy, and how do we leverage it and roll it out right away? Now, we had a good build-up. Now we start getting, again, that's the strategy part, right? High-level strategy, high-level mindset. We bring it down now to eye-level tactics. We don't think about the other way. Eye-level tactics are always able to be done. What you need is the strategy first, right? That's what our team does. We do the high-level strategy, bring it down to eye-level tactics. Let's start with pillar number 1. You got to build a list. Got to build a list fast. 13 SMS list growth hacks to roll out now. You need to grow an SMS list first. Here's how to do it fast. I grew an SMS list from 0 to 500,000 subscribers in about 5 months. Done. Fast. Quick. Built the list. Now we have something to work with. Granted, I was at the 9 and 10 figure brands. They have unlimited resources, right? So I know how to grow it fast, but I used 13 ways to make it happen. That's a lot faster than most. Okay, that led to millions in more revenue. Let's see what you can chop off right now. Even if you do 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, you're in a good place. You're better than most brands out there. Number 1, implement SMS sign up at checkout. That's low-hanging fruit. We grew a brand's SMS list from 0 to 10,000 in about 30 days just by adding this, right? SMS sign up at checkout. Depending on the volume of orders you have, you can grow a list fast by having it at checkout. So make sure that toggle is there. Klaviyo and Shopify integrate really seamlessly. WooCommerce does the same. Whatever your platform is, there's a simple way to integrate it and put it on the checkout page. And the magic of this is that you don't just want to send a promotion. It's not just about building a list and selling to them. It's about being transactional too, right? Sign up for order confirmation and shipping confirmation messages, right? You can have that transactional element right there. Number 2, email opt-in banners, right? Make sure you have within your email a way for people to sign up right away. You're sending emails out all the time, right? Make sure there's a little block there. Sign up for SMS, right? Different experiences when they click on it from mobile devices versus desktop devices. Have that option, right? Text to join, another one right here. That's all on your email. You see all the circled areas right there. Transactional emails. I love adding SMS options to transactional emails because now you have an opportunity for people to sign up for mobile alerts or check their order status or download your app all by SMS, right? You see at the very bottom there, Home Depot, sign up for mobile alerts, get $5 off plus savings, probably on the next order, right? Clearly I ordered something there, and I ordered some white panel milling. I think I was building something, and I could sign up for SMS. Now, Isaac, you're going to tell me, well, it's transactional email. You can't do anything with it. No, you can. It's an email. You're allowed to monetize it. Amazon does it. Home Depot does it. Foot Locker does it. Every single brand out there does it. You just think you're not allowed to do it, right? Because it's transactional. You are. So you're allowed to add something that's related to the person's order. There's really no legalities around it. It really isn't, right? As long as it's really relevant and personalized, you can do whatever you want. So add it to your transactional emails. They're going out all the time to subscribed or unsubscribed people, right? So it's really helpful. Add in multi-step pop-ups, right? You want to have multi-step pop-ups on your site. This is almost table stakes by now, where you have people sign up for email, and then they sign up for SMS, get a sweeter offer. Pretty basic, right? That's a quick win. Change your pop-ups, multi-step options. But not just that, you also want to focus on unique light boxes, right? So a great example is, someone's on your list, right? They come to the website, they're shopping. After about 10 seconds, you do a pop-up. You say, guess what? You're invited to become a VIP by joining our SMS list. They were on our email list, but they weren't on our SMS list. So you have another option, another way to communicate with them and say, guess what? Become another, subscriber to our SMS side. Great win right there. Remember, lifetime value increases. Now they're an email subscriber. Now you got them by SMS. You could do the same on the reverse. SMS subscriber gets an email lightbox, right? You could do the same thing. There's so many ways to do it, right? You just have to look at your light boxes, and you see right here how I set it up. Don't show it to anyone who's an SMS subscriber, right? Exclude it from them. But everyone else, I want to build my list. Got to build your list. Dedicate a month to that. See how it goes. Exit intent pop-ups, right? Another great example. Before you leave, join SMS before you abandon, right? Want 15% off before you go? Sign up. Get $50 off your first order right there. Grab your discount. There's ways to build your list through exit intent also. This is super helpful. A lot of people have anonymous visitors come to their site, and you want to capture them. The pop-up didn't do it. Google ads didn't do it. Facebook ads didn't do it. An exit intent pop-up could be that final chance. Try it out. Next is a friction-free landing page. You want to have landing pages that are super, super simple, right? They come back to the site, or you're driving them traffic from influencers, what I'm going to talk about in a second, or you're driving traffic from organic, or you're driving traffic from paid social, right? All that's coming to your website, but there's a problem because your landing page may have too many friction points. You're asking for their first name or last name and phone number or an email. And this is a great example on the left where it's actually a pretty friction-free experience, but I think we can reduce some things. I don't need their first name now. I don't need that right now. I don't really use it. I don't need their last name yet, right? We'll get that later. Let's get their phone number. Let's find a way to communicate with them. You have Brooklyn over here. Look at that. Sign up for text and get early access. Phone number. Sign up now. Done. Simple. I don't need to know what you're interested in and what are you here for buying. I don't need to do that. We'll find out when we send them the first text message. I have a strategy for that. Let's just get their phone number to start, right? Now, this is a super way. This is a super easy way, and I'm going to show you why in a second. All the other channels, I'm talking about really email and your current setup when you're ESP right now, but this is the first part of the next stage, right? Which is where you're getting your list from other sources. So friction-free landing page is super important. Meta ads for non-subscribers, right? You could even run them if you have some shekel to throw at it, right? Some money. Run a meta ad to non-subscribers, right? Anyone who was unsubscribed, and maybe they unsubscribe from email. Maybe they'll give you a chance on SMS. Try and win them back. Great way to win back customers who are relatively loyal at some point. Maybe the channel just didn't resonate with them, right? Email may not be great for everyone. Maybe SMS is worth a shot. You can also do this similar setup for SMS win back, right? For unsubscribes, which similar thing, similar setup where, yeah, this is non-subscribers right here, people who have not subscribed at all, and similar for win back for unsubscribed. So focus on the list you currently have, right? Imagine your suppressed list, which you've already started suppressing. You have maybe, I think some of the brands I work with have about 100 to 200,000 emails that are suppressed, right? They are just not engaging with the channel. Throw that into Facebook. Try to run an ad to them and say, join our SMS list. You never know, right? Put some dollars behind it, put an offer behind it. You never know. It could actually convert into regained subscribers. You never know. Another low-hanging fruit, update your social links, right? All your social links should have Operation SMS list growth this month, right? We want to grow our list, so change your social links. Linktree is a great example. You can have multiple links in your Instagram profile. Link in bio right here, where you can actually click the link in the bio and go to the bio and they'll sign up right there. So make sure your social links are driving that back, because this is the earned media, right? You hope your posts go viral and you hope they're engaged with, but you want to turn them from earned media into owned media and really make sure that you're turning that follower into a subscriber, a much more valuable stage. A follower is good. A subscriber is better. Push your influencers to SMS, right? You have Gary Vaynerchuk, text empathy live to this number, right? If you're working with influencers, have them join your text club, have them add your link, your short code, your number to get your updates. Again, you're on borrowed media or earned media. Turn them into subscribers, which is a better form of a follower, right? It's a better source. It's a better type of prospect. So push your influencers to leverage SMS. If you're a retailer, I work with a ton of retailers, right? Use offline options for SMS sign up. You always go to a store, enjoy 10% off, 20% off for an item, text denim to this number. Huge, right? That works. You're at the checkout table, and all of a sudden you say, oh, yeah, I could text a number and get 10% off right now. Sure, why not? Let me do it. And you build the list, right? So retailers can do this as well. To be honest, you can also do this with your Amazon boxes. Now, I'm not going to tell you the legalities of that. I'm not a lawyer, but I will tell you, use your delivery boxes to an advantage. Put a postcard in there or something in there that allows you to communicate with customers, that they can sign up for SMS, they can sign up for email, they can sign up for your channels right there on the spot. And who wouldn't want to get that if you're giving them value, right? Don't just say sign up for SMS to get another 50% off. You could if you want, but sign up for SMS to learn how to use your product, right? Wouldn't that be much more valuable? Cheaper too. And then the final thing is a joint SMS campaign. Once you have all those 12 elements in place, now is when you push out a campaign to your list and say, sign up. We just did one with another brand. Sign up for SMS, join our list, push all that traffic over to your subscribers, right? Why not? Throw it out there. That triggers the SMS welcome, that triggers the offer, and you're off to the races, right? You see a few versions right here where they blasted out their list, tried to get more signups. It's very valuable that way. Great. Now we've started building the list, right? So let's assume you spent a good month or 2 months building up the list, and now you have a good amount of people to start working with, right? This is now also when you start setting up your advanced flows and triggers. You don't just want to talk at your list, which is your campaigns, right? The way you've been doing it. You want to conversate with them on demand and start building relationships with them overall. And why are flows so critical for SMS? It really helps with, you become more helpful, less salesy. You're responding to inquiries better, right? You actually become informational and helpful. You generate two-way conversations. You can engage on demand. I haven't added a section of this webinar yet that talks all about the AI applications of agents and chatbots. But imagine someone responds to your text message. You can have a chatbot connected that says, respond this and this and this and this. They can do that these days, right? You create H-to-H, human-to-human communication, and you save time and grow revenue this way because you won't have to do it yourself. That's why flows and triggers are critical. I'm going to give you a few of my favorite triggers. Obviously, we know the cart abandoned SMS, the browse abandoned SMS, and the welcome SMS, right? Pretty basic, pretty obvious. Those are the ones you need to focus on. Build them up now. But I also like transactional messages. Transactional messages get opened and clicked ridiculously high, right? Order confirmation, shipping confirmation, post-purchase survey, all those generate engagement. That's the goal. You want to train your customers that you're not just about the next sale, you're about the engagement, the communication, the updates, the helpfulness. So those three automations are another few favorites to add to your roster. And then expand your triggers, right? Don't just think about the next sale. Think about the helpfulness of your SMS program. I have great success when we send out updates about the rewards, right? I know you may send an email about you've earned rewards or you've earned points or here's your points reminder. SMS does a wonderful job about that, especially when it's personalized. A personalized message that you have 1,000 points to spend, and we just want to remind you of that, by the way, is super helpful and trustworthy, and you'll be surprised how well it converts. Birthdays, another great example of a text message you could send out. It's been 2 months, or happy birthday. You add your birthday at some point in your journey with us. As a reminder, here's something that you can comment or text us back the letter A or B or C to get a special gift, right? So you can use birthdays as another trigger. These are triggers. They're triggered off an action or a date or a segment, anything that the customer engages with. So expand your triggers, right? And I showed you this to you before a little bit, right, in a lesson more quicker as the case study, where you can think beyond just omni-channel, right? Think beyond email and also think beyond just SMS, right? I expand that cart abandon flow to think about, you know what, you send them a cart abandon email. Great. The cart abandon email is step number one. If they don't open the email, it shows that they maybe are not engaged with the channel enough. So send them an SMS. And then you rinse and repeat as needed. They don't engage with SMS, you can actually send them over to Google and Facebook for retargeting, right? Again, we're staggering our approach. Cheap first. Email is really cheap. SMS not as cheap, but it's still better than paying ads, right? And then if they don't even click the SMS and convert, you pick up the phone and call them, depending on the product. This is the 10-figure multi-channel flow approach. I've built this out hundreds of times. Not everyone gets to this level, and usually it's enough email and SMS, right? You don't have the infrastructure to start calling people, or maybe you don't want to pay for Facebook ads or Google ads, and that's totally fine, right? But this is like an infrastructure way of looking at thinking beyond just the channel and thinking about the journey. So this is a great example for that. As I showed you, a little better, a screenshot, right? Send a cart abandon email. If they convert from the email, yes, no, send a reminder email. If they don't engage with the channel or don't convert, you can even target them on SMS. And if they did not convert from SMS, you see at the bottom right, have customer service call the prospect, right? And if they aren't even signed up, right? Maybe you have people abandoning your cart and not even signed up to anything, right? You could send that data to other channels, Meta and Google, and have them run. And exactly it, right? That's kind of how it all works together. Really seamlessly way of looking at your flows and your triggers to work for you and not just thinking myopically for just email. I have dozens of these triggers right here. It's all in my SMS marketing playbook. I'm going to send it to those who registered, but if you want it, just DM me. I'll try and get you a copy as well. We have about 25 plus SMS automations we build out for brands that are way beyond the typical cart, browse, checkout abandons that you know, or the welcome that you know. We're talking bigger ones, like customer service ones and two-way messaging and choose your own adventure and omni-channel ones and financing and loyalty and rewards that all are part of this playbook. I think you're going to like it a lot. So definitely reach out. If you registered, you'll get this as well for free. Step 3, right? Step number 1, we built our list. Step number 2, we're triggering out our flows and automations to run 24/7, 365. We're in a good place now. Now we got to drive traffic to those flows, right? We got to get those campaign strategy going, right? So here's how we steer our entire SMS marketing strategy around just 3 steps. 3 steps to know: reward, reinforce, and relationship. Those are the 3 pillars of SMS. Reward, give your SMS subscribers first pass to everything. Reinforce, how do you go from email or SMS to email and SMS and customer squared, as I said before, seamlessly, reinforcing it all. And finally, relationship. You need to excel at SMS to build relationships using conversational commerce, making sure someone's responding, getting the dialogue going. You gain 0 and first-party data right there. So reward, reinforce, and relationships. Let's dive deeper into each one. Why is rewarding your SMS subscribers first everything? Why is it so important? Well, number 1, SMS open rates are in the range of 90%. Email can be on the range of 25 to 35, 40%, right? It creates a more urgency than the inbox. My inbox can get flooded with emails from brands. You saw that list of emails from Nordstrom, right? Huge. SMS is more intimate, more personal, right? You get a text message, you check it right away. So do I want to know about this or not? Boom, check it right away. usually in most cases. Converts better, yields higher ROI earlier, incentivizes more people to join the SMS list, right? It combats email fatigue and inbox clutter, creates a tiered VIP experience overall, right? Actually, insiders alone get this message. So it's a really great way to give first pass to your list. And again, build up that list with that vibe. Reward subscribers first, right? Give them double points, right? Your email list gets regular offers. SMS gets double points. SMS gets early access, right? SMS gets a special deal, that sweetened deal. 15% off for my email list, 20% off for our SMS list, because it's much more intimate. It's a much more high response channel. You gotta, some people tend to not think about it because they don't have to obsess over copy and creatives. It's 160 characters. I just watching a documentary on Twitter. They built up their business, X now, right? They built up their business on 140 characters. I'm not mistaken. 150 characters. Not a big Twitter fan, right? They built up their whole business around it. Short converts in the day. And as I said before, you take it from email versus SMS to email and SMS to customer squared, right? You enable yourself to think beyond just sending messages for rewards. This one is reinforcement. I just want to make sure I have the right slide. Reinforcement is the next stage to think about, where you're thinking to yourself, how do I reinforce my messaging to work overtime for me? Customers are busy. People are busy. They're out there. They're getting bombarded with emails from their boss, from their school, from their brands out there. And you think that they're all living in the inbox? No, they got their phone ready. They got their socials up, right? They're getting text messages. They're getting mail. They're getting a whole bunch of different ways of communication. Many touch points. Multiple touch points increases conversion. So the more places you are, the higher chances of converting that customer. I think it takes, last I heard, it takes about 12 to 18 touches before a customer converts, unless they're in the market of buying right now, right? So you got to be consistent with your messaging. You got to be consistently in their face to be aware of it, while at the same time as personalized as possible. Email means more real estate to sell your story. SMS, right to the punch, which is why I like to reward customers first. Think of it this way, right? You have your Memorial Day sale coming up. Boom, quick message to your SMS subscribers. You've unlocked Memorial Day deals first. Take a peek inside before everyone else. Click, go. The email now comes out the next day. More real estate, more things to discover, more personalized content in there because they clicked from the message before, right? That's a better harmonious journey. Where will they convert? We'll find out, but that's going to be a great way to reinforce the message while also rewarding your customers. Diversified reach hedges against missed goals, improves personalization, campaign performance overall is impaired, right? Seamless cross-channel experience. Email builds up the anticipation, builds up the journey, builds up the story, builds up the offer, builds up everything you need within your long, nicely worded, gorgeously designed email. SMS closes the deal, right? That's how you need to approach it. Here's a great example of how we've rolled it out with a few brands, right? Here's one that had a giveaway. Maybe hard to understand this calendar over here, but on the very bottom row, you could see there was a giveaway for this brand. I was running a spring giveaway, and actually, this is a spring giveaway. This has also happened in December. And what happened was you were sending an email out, right? And brands tend to rely on the email channel. That's great. All good and well. All good things, right? To send the email channel, send the email out, right? Sometimes it gets engaged. You still have maybe 50% of your list not engaging with that, right? Maybe 90% of your list not clicking through. We get good click rates. So I know 90% not clicking through. SMS follows up. SMS comes from a different angle, right? SMS went first. You see at the very bottom giveaway last weekend, first to our VIP subscribers, then the email came in. And then towards the tail end, email went out, ends today. SMS got an extended. You see VIP extended on the 31st, right? So SMS rewarded while also reinforcing. That's how you leverage email and SMS to go hand in hand. Last chance right here on the left, a big, nicely designed email. Right in that text message, you can see there must have been like literally like 10 words. Final chance to win. Ends today. Click to join, right? That's how you leverage email and SMS to reinforce each other. Reinforce your email program, right? Just like you send in earned points email or points reminder or birthday, right? You can reinforce it, making sure that your email is reinforced by your messaging. Finally, the last part of this is use SMS to build better customer relationships, right? We talked about rewarding them first. We talked about reinforcing your email program. And now we're going to focus how to build better customer relationships with SMS. It's more engaging. It's two-way conversations. It's like texting a friend. Think of it like that way, right? I want to text a friend and find out, what are you doing today? What's on your list? What's happening? What's the weather like? And think about that. Think about that conversation going. And you can now collect zero first-party data super easily. They respond back. I'm going to show you an example in a second. Personalization is amplified because they're texting you back what they want. They're texting you back their interest. They're texting you back what they're in the market for right now. They can text you back and you can react to that. SMS, like I said before, has higher open response rates. You could turn customer support into loyalty. They text back, I didn't get my order yet. What's going on? No problem. You text them back. It's on its way. Here's the order. Here's the link for you to check it out. If you have any questions, let me know. Just like your chatbots, right? Same philosophy. And the cool thing is you can create an SMS-driven feedback loop too. SMS hears about it. Your customers respond back. Now you internalize it. You can build an SOP off it. You can build an FAQ off that, right? And now you have a great feedback loop for your business to help you steer your business quicker, right? Great example of how to build better relationships, right? Zero-party data. Send them a message. Hey, what is your biggest skincare concern right now? Breakouts, pores, dryness, fine lines, dark spots, dullness. They'll text back their answer. Now you can send them a message. Oh, this product will help you. This piece of content will inform you about what to do as we approach summer or fall, right? Personalized, conversational. Automated responses, such as build out your automated response. Someone keeps texting you, where's my order? Or someone has questions about an item out of stock. Create automated responses that you can start with. Once they start conversating with that automated response, great picture right here of a customer success person, you start then taking it away from the AI and start handling it internally. And then pre and post-purchase surveys. How'd we do? How'd we do with your order? Text back a 1 for excellent, text back a 10 for terrible. Probably should be the other way around, right? And then you have the conversation going. Imagine doing this with a review. Text back 5 if you loved it, 5-star review. Text back a 1 if you didn't like it. A 1 gets a phone call, right? Oh my gosh, I heard you didn't like it. What's happened? What can we do to improve? Text back a 5, we call you up and say, you're amazing. We love you. We're going to send you something as a free gift. Imagine the potential of that. Communication, build your customer relationships. Here's an example of where I've done a brand. I was working with a brand and we did a gift guide survey. Holidays are coming up, not too soon, but holidays are coming up. You text them, hey, what are you in the market for? In this case, we're doing a giveaway, just like that giveaway we saw before. I would like, as a giveaway, for you to offer either a truck or a sports car or a vacation or $100,000 in cash or a sports event, right? So we sent that out. The amount of text we got back for the truck dwarfed anything we expected. We thought it would be like $100,000 cash. They all said they want the truck. What does that tell us? That tells us a lot, right? Tells us, number one, we can give away product, or they want to give less cash than product. It tells us who our customer demographic is. We learn a lot more about our customers. We understand exactly when to send messages. We realize that our customers are engaging with our channel. And then on top of that, check out this flow right here we could build out when they respond. They text back a truck, we respond, thank you so much for your truck entry. This item goes really well with that truck, right? Whatever you want to say, right? Or thank you for that texting back the exotification. We'll see if we can go, but this bag will be a perfect fit to take on vacation with you, right? There's a lot of different experiences you can have when they communicate with you. Conversational commerce, right? We built out this massive flow, did really well, but it was just very interesting to build out, right? And have that conversation going. Same thing with that choose your own adventure, right? Just like when people sign up, if you ask them, what are you here for? What are you shopping for? You respond. The messages that you send are automated to respond back with the right product, the right offer, something helpful to get them to the next level. And here's the catch behind that though. Okay, whenever you're asking someone something on conversational commerce or texting them something so they can respond back, make sure what they text you back is helpful in perpetuity. Because if it's helpful right now and not be helpful in 30 days from now, It doesn't really matter. I'll give a great example of this, right? I created this messaging for a consumer electronics brand, and we sent out a message that said, what are you in the market to buy right now? Camera, lenses, computers, or I don't know, accessories. And they texted back a computer. So we sent them a message about computers. These computers are on sale, and they bought a computer. Now, are they in the market for computers anymore? No, they haven't. So they don't need it anymore. So that data I got from them, not as useful, right? It wasn't useful as much. What would be better for me to text would be like, what are you looking to create? Now, if they tell me I'm a wildlife photographer, or I'm a podcaster, or I am a videographer, or I'm a wedding photographer, that's more helpful because I can sell them one product and then use that data to steer everything else going forward, right? So you see how it's so important to understand the logic behind it and use that conversational commerce in the right way, okay? That was a case study of what not to do, like I did, but I learned the hard way. So we learned from that and went from there. We kind of covered a lot in that strategy. And now one question a lot of brands tend to ask is, well, how do I know this is even working, right? How do I know that SMS is even worth the squeeze? Well, I found success with keeping it very simple, right? It comes down to keeping things super simple, to be honest. I distill things down really simply. Build 3 segments. One is your SMS subscribers, one is your email and SMS subscribers, and one is your email-only subscribers, right? Run out 8 campaigns to that rollout, right? You can use email for this. This is very helpful for email too, right? You can do it from the email side or SMS side. Run it out. Pull the data. And then you could determine if SMS is actually providing additive revenue to your brand, right? You may think that, oh, they're email subscribers. I could just send them an email and we're good, right? Email or SMS. No, see how we isolate it, right? SMS, find out if it's additive, or maybe I found this is customers who are in email and SMS, they're signed up for 2 channels. I found that to be the most additive, most engaged. And that provides an extra lift. That's what I'm talking about. Lifetime value increasing because 2 channels. Imagine you get them to 3 channels, such as push, 4 channels, such as in-store, right? Now we're talking a really high lifetime value customer. That's how you test for SMS incrementality. Whew. I think we covered a lot in the SMS Bootcamp. We're almost at time here. I want to make sure we're on time. So for this, right, key takeaways, grow your list. Number 1, 2, build out your trigger roadmap. 3, implement my 3-step SMS strategy, reward, reinforce relationships, and then test it for true incrementality so you know exactly what you're dealing with. That is our 10-figure SMS Bootcamp right here. A lot of brands don't get this. They're just going to take it away and say, you know what, my next campaign for Memorial Day, I'm going to blast my list. Start one place. Start by testing it. See what SMS adds to you. If you don't have SMS yet, give us a call. We'll get you set up really quickly. Let's quickly talk about some of the results you saw from this strategy right here, some success stories, right? This brand right here, 8-figure brand, added 1,300% revenue growth by adding SMS, right? They went up in just 1 month. In 30 days, they grew another $20,000 from SMS. Total incrementality, totally incremental, right? An extra $20,000 from SMS. It became a major part of their marketing mix. Really important. This brand, an 8-figure retailer right here, just started growing their list. They just started. We came on board and said, you know what? You have SMS potential here, right? It's a good fit. And guess what? They actually went from 0 subscribers to 10,000 in about 30 days, 40 days, 30, 40 days. Barely turned on many automation, turned on some of the key ones, and they're already generating $14,000. We just started with that. Huge gain. 10,000 new subscribers, 14,000 gained. Imagine what's going to happen by the end of the year. This 7-figure retailer grew SMS from $1,000 to $12,000 a month in just 90 days. And again, I compare year over year, same sales, same promotion, same days of the week, right? Same holidays, everything the same. Year incrementality, that's what it's about. Year over year performance, not period over period. Come on, don't joke around. Year over year growth, that's what we want to see, year over year growth, okay? Extra revenue gained from your SMS channel. Another 8-figure brand was doing nothing in 90 days. And this is in Q2. They were doing nothing with SMS, not a single thing. And their revenue was down, and their email was down, and their flows were down. Everything was bad on this brand. But specifically for this webinar, SMS 0%, right? Not doing anything. We came in, same time period, same quarter, same 90-day window. SMS converted at $51,000. They went from 0 to 51,000 in the same quarter a year later. And they're growing also by email. A rising tide lifts all ships. Their email program was clicking. Customers more engaged. Revenue was growing, right? Instead of being 6% of revenue from their email program, they were making 45% of the revenue from their email program, which means, not a number, it means more predictable, profitable, predictable, stable, no headaches, no worrying about where your next dollar is coming from. No more wondering where your next payroll is coming from, right? You have predictability with your email program. And now SMS. I'll just kind of finish off with a couple of these other, case studies. We helped the 10-figure retailer grow from 10 million to 29 million in 12 months with SMS added as part of that. Don't have a screenshot for that. And then this 9-figure retailer from 47 million to 73 million dollars in 8 months while sending fewer messages from email, which meant we can use SMS to hedge against it and help the revenue grow. $47 million a year back then and $73 million in 8 months. Huge revenue growth from this strategy. 2 10-figure strategies, right, with email and SMS, and it works really well from 6-figure brands to 10-figure brands. Overall, the same strategy, right? It's just the different tactics being implemented by our team. So let's end with this last part here. Here's why your brand fails to get this strategy going, right? Here's what's holding you back from advancing this strategy overall. As I told you before, why haven't you done it before? You have no time, right? Unimaginable time constraints. You're unsure what the potential could be. Yeah, you're telling me, Isaac, SMS is so good. Prove it. Well, you have no time to prove it. You're obsessed with value metrics, trying to hold on to customer control. But really the number one reason that's holding brands like you back is that you're hiring freelancers to do your work, right? Cut people who don't understand that there's a bigger strategy in place, not just tactics, right? Like this brand realized freelancers are wasting her time. Or that agencies would experiment on your back and say, you know what? Yeah, we do email and SMS, and then they just blast your list. They send more emails and text. You ever get that agency to send more emails and text, and then your list is dead the next year, right? Doesn't work. Or you found that email marketers really never get the foundation they need to scale. They don't have that 4-step strategy to really grow the brand. They don't even have that 3-stage SMS strategy until we came along. So that's another reason you're not getting off the ground and running, because they're glorified email marketers or freelancers who just kind of know how to do one thing relatively well, but one thing. What you need are more retention experts who understand the journey, understand real world experience, proven frameworks, zero guesswork, connects with the person behind the inbox, high level strategy, eye level tactics, thinks beyond sending emails and texts, and treats your customers like ours. Really important to remember that. There's a person behind the inbox. Anyone who's telling you to send more, blast more, doesn't care about your customer, right? Because they don't understand there's a relationship there. There's a human there. Like I said, proven 10-figure frameworks and zero guesswork. Let's do a final recap on our SMS Bootcamp. I've shared market data on how brands are using SMS incorrectly and need to change. You need to change now because you're burning your list you're acquiring. Your list is burning, just like your email list is burning, right? It's slowly burning to the ground. You may not see it right now. You'll see it in 6 months from now. I revealed why it's not email versus SMS or even email and SMS anymore. It's customer squared, right? It's the channel the customer prefers to be communicated on. That's it. It's their preference. It's not about the channel. I've shown you my 4-step SMS strategy from list growth to triggers to conversational commerce, right? Making sure that you have all those in place, and then testing, how to test for incrementality. I've highlighted numerous success stories, the results that what happens when you implement it. And I'm going to show you how to speed it up, right? It's one thing to learn about it, but what I want you to take away from this is how to get this going right away. You can implement this strategy in minutes, right? We do this for brands. I highly recommend book a free email SMS audit right now. I'll show you exactly what you're doing wrong, where there's room for improvement, how to close any revenue gaps, how to close any gaps in your SMS strategy and your email strategy at the same time, and how to put an actual dollar amount onto that. We do this for, you saw 110 plus brands, and I'll personally walk you through how to segment better, personalize better, automate faster, revive your customer relationships, and unlock the true revenue potential of your list, right? Like I said, we'll show you what you're doing well, room for improvement, what the revenue gap looks like, complete full analysis, everything you can imagine on an audit. We've done it. Like I said, I've been on your side of the table. Remember that. What's really cool also is that my email ROI calculator will reveal your actual revenue gap. I'll put it down to the dollar. You can see in a range how we get you to that number and what the actual differential is, right? Down to the dollar based on your list size, your AOV, your open rate, your click rate, everything I need to know. It's hands down the best email SMS and retention audit brands have ever had, according to our clients and according to our case study. So I highly recommend you jump on that. You can actually scan this code to watch me unlock $200,000 for a brand in just 15 minutes. Scan the code, watch that video. You like what you see, jump on a call. We'll get something going for you too. I showed these results before, about before or after the audit. And again, if you like what you see, we implement it 100% done for you. Book our 10-figure email program, and here's what's cool about it. You get our 10-figure SMS program for free, right? So book that audit, and I'll walk you through how we do SMS for your brand absolutely free. I just showed you the revenue potential of this SMS, and we will do it for absolutely for free, which is a really good benefit for you. I'm not going to go through the case studies anymore, but you saw exactly what I was talking about. As I promised you, we're going to give you all this content over here absolutely for free also, right? All this content, you can just go to highflyerdigital.com/book and get those playbooks. Just book a free call and we will get you all these playbooks absolutely for free. And you can learn about it. If you feel like you want to take the time to implement it yourself, you're more than welcome to, but we could speed it up. Why wait? Before you know it, Black Friday will be here. My final message is you're a hero to your customers, but somewhere along the way, you kind of lost track of it. You've been treating them like an email or a phone number, emails and numbers, and there really are people. And the magic behind it is getting that relationship back, right? They stopped engaging. They stopped listening to you. They're tuning you out. And that's why your revenue and profits are falling. It's time to get back on it, right? Time to focus on the person behind the inbox, behind the phone. But the longer you wait, the colder your list gets. And the colder your list gets, the higher chance of bankruptcy, according to the data. Not to end on a dismal note, but that's exactly what brands have been facing in the end of 2024 and in some cases in 2025. So you have a potential now to break the cycle and unlock the true revenue potential of your list. Time to reconnect to your customers. Definitely my free audit will show you exactly how to do that. Book your free audit now. I really appreciate you joining this SMS webinar. It's really helpful to learn how to leverage your email channel at a 10-figure level and now your SMS channel at a 10-figure level. Grow them both at the same pace. You're going to be unstoppable. Your competitors will be blown away. And more importantly, your customers will stay with you for a lifetime. That's how the 10-figure brands think, and that's why they're around for so long. Thank you for joining me on this webinar. I really hope you got a lot of value out of it. I will see you on the next one.